So now what we need to do is that we need to work on the user interface here. Instead of displaying this as a Django app, we want to work on the user interface so that the design looks amazing. So I'm going to start by working on the navigation bar. So instead of displaying H1, let me first run my server. I'm going to run my server here, and then I'm going to head on over to the browser. If you go to the main page, you will find that we have this is my first app. And of course, we don't want that. First of all, we want to take the user to the index.html. So I'm going to open up the urls.py and or actually the views. In the views.py, in the index, instead of returning the user to the instead of returning this message, I'm going to take the user to the index page. So to take the user to the index page, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to here remove this, and then I'm going to say render, and then what I'm going to render is that I'm going to return the request first, and along with the request, we need to specify the page that we want to go to. So we want to go to the blog/index.html. And here we have this article function. I no longer need this. This was just for the sake of demonstrating how to pass a parameter. Also in the URLs here, I no longer need this article. I'm going to remove this. This was just for the sake of demonstrating how this works. So now that we have this function index, we need to save everything. Let me save everything. And let me head on over to the browser and refresh. And as you can see here, it's going to display this is a Django app. So this was the first step. The first step was to take the user from the main page, which is the index, to this page, to the index.html. The next step is that we need to work on the user interface. So I'm going to start by working on the navigation bar. I'm going to be displaying a navigation bar instead of displaying this. So I'm going to remove this completely, and then I'm going to create a navigation bar. I'm going to say here dev. And inside that dev, what I'm going to do is that I am going to, let me push this a little. Let me push this. And then inside that dev, I'm going to be displaying a UL unordered list. And inside that unordered list, I'm going to be displaying the buttons or the tabs. So the first one is going to be li, and inside that li, I want to display the a tag here, a tag of that AI, and inside that a tag I'm going to say home. This is going to be the home page, home, and then inside that home I'm going to say href. The href for now is just going to be empty, or it's just going to be /. You can't say / because this is the home page. For the second tab, I'm going to display here li, another li. And that li is going to have inside it a tag. And inside that a tag, I need to display the name of that page. So let's say contact, for example. Contact. And then you can display another page. You can here say li. And then inside that li, another a tag, which is going to be, let's say, about us. I'm going to say about us, or about, just about. Let me now save and let me head on over to the browser to test. So I'm going to push this a little, and then I'm going to save, and then I'm going to head on over to the browser to test. Now in the browser, if I refresh, you'll find that we have home, we have contact, and we have about. But the problem with this is that it requires some design. We need to add some design to this in order to make this look amazing, because now it's just HTML code without CSS. So we need to work on the CSS part of this so that this looks much better than this. So I'm going to head on over to the CSS file, and then I'm going to start working on this. So in the CSS here, if you open up the static blog CSS, style.css, you'll find that we have this h1. We no longer need this. This was just for the sake of demonstrating how to use CSS in Django. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to here add some designs to the UL. So for this UL, for this unordered list, I'm gonna add the following design. First of all, I'm gonna change the list style type. So the list style type is gonna be none because I want to display the button. I want to display the buttons here side by side. The next thing that I want is that I want to change the margin and the padding. So the margin and the padding are going to be 0. So the margin is going to be 0. The padding is going to be 0 as well. For the overflow, the overflow is going to be hidden. For the background color, I'm going to change the background color. The background color, here I'm going to say first background. So the background color is going to be a dark color. It's going to be 333. For the position, the position is going to be fixed because I want to display it in the upper side of the website. So it's going to be fixed. And it's going to be fixed to the top of the website. And to the left, to the top and the left. So it's going to be at the top. And finally, I'm going to change the width. So the width of this is going to be here width. The width is going to be 100% because I want it to take the complete screen width. Let me save and let me head on over to the browser to test. So in the browser, if I refresh, as you can see, it's going to be displayed like this. But still, we need to work on the buttons, on these buttons and display them side by side. So here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change the LI. So the LI here for each LI, for each button, I'm going to make the float, I'm going to change the float to be left, which is going to make them displayed side by side. The border left, border right, the border right is going to be 1px solid and BBB, which is a light color. And we also need to change the LI of the last button. So for the last child, for the last button, it's not gonna have a border right. I'm gonna say border right. So the border right of the last button is gonna be none. We don't want a border right for the last button. Finally, I'm gonna work on the LIA, the A tag of each LI, which is this, each A tag. So for each A tag, I'm gonna change the display. The display is gonna be display. The display is gonna be block. It's gonna be a block. And for each one, it's gonna have a different color. The color is gonna be white because the background color is already black or dark. The text decoration is gonna be none, and the text decoration. The text decoration is going to remove the line below each of these buttons, And we also need some padding. I'm going to say here padding. So the padding for each of the buttons is going to be 14px and 16px. Top and left and right and the bottom. And the text is going to be centered. So the text align is going to be center. Let me now save and let me head on over to the browser to test. So now in the browser, if I refresh, guess what? Now we have here a navigation bar that looks amazing. We have home, contact, and about, and it looks amazing, and it's fixed here at the top of the website.